What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Iccy Showw. This is interview 548 interviews I've done in 4.5 years. Give this special guest from Georgia to Boston 617 a second to get on here, and we will start this. If you want to be a guest, I'm booked until April, so inbox your girl, Jackie Brown with 2 C's, I.E. Brown, and I'll let you know the dates I have available. Also, I got the new Iccy Showw rolling trays or put your jewelry for $15 now through June when the 5-year anniversary party happens on June 2nd, 2023. So stay tuned. Flyers will be out. Shout out to Jay Solex putting this together, this flyer. Shout out to your boy Custom Clothing Store getting these for your girl G Girl. I appreciate it. Much love and respect. So get them, inbox me, let you know. They're big, they're not small. The next interview after today is on the 10th, then the 12th. Also this Friday, don't forget to come out to Sammy's Patio, Revere, Massachusetts. A lot of local artists and artists from out of state is performing, so you do want to come out this Friday. The Iccy Showw will be in the building. Did you get the login? I sent you the tag-in. Not the login, the tag-in. I apologize. Here we go.
Hey.
Prime Jones.
Let me see if I can hear you. Let me turn you up.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of low. I might have to turn mine down. Hold up. Give me a second.
Okay.
I can't really hear you that good. Say something.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. This is Prime Jones from Atlanta, Georgia to Boston 617. Welcome.
Hey.
Can you
How you doing?
Good. Can you hear me? Is it clear enough for you?
I mean, it's kind of low, but we're going to make it happen.
Okay. Well, I thank you for coming on the Iccy Showw and taking the time. So salute to you. And for the people that don't know of you, why don't you let them know how you started to get into this industry? What made you?
Music, loving music, growing up on music, living life, you know what I'm saying? Want to tell my story, you know what I mean? You hear all the other stories, so you want to tell yours, you know what I mean? So, but I got in it early, being out there, just being honest, being out there in the streets, you know what I mean? And hearing my folks just freestyling and, you know what I mean? I'm like, dang, man, you know what? I need to do that, you know what I'm saying? But I grew up in music. I've been doing music. But I took it to the rap. Yeah, I took it to the rap. And I was like 14 or something.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who is your artist when you were growing up that you looked up to?
I mean, I'm gonna throw I listen to a lot of music, you know what I mean? Like underground, like I'm underground king. Like I listen to a lot of underground, but my favorite artist is Pop of all time. But I'm a big Scarface. I mean, I'm one of them. I like a lot, you know what I mean, growing up. So if it was real, we was messing with it, you know what I mean? I mean, you can go to Outkast. I grew up on that. Can't forget about the Goody Mob, all that good stuff. Yeah.
Definitely. Now, do you have a clothing line out there?
No clothing line, but you know what? I've been thinking about that. Might have to put some crime time wear out there. You know what I mean?
I like it.
Yeah.
It rhymes. It goes so perfect.
Like you can see that, huh?
Yes, definitely. You're just gonna come out with the logo right now, and then you'll be all set.
I'm gonna have to make that happen. When I do it, we're gonna have to connect on that. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to put me back on there and put that crime time wear out there.
Definitely. And I see you got a selection of hats behind you, so you got to add a hat to that.
Yeah, I mean, I got people to put some prints on, so yeah, might have to start. Yeah, definitely, yeah. I got to start putting it. Yeah, you know what? I'm glad you said that. I don't have no hat with my. Yeah, I got to get me one of those. I got shirts, but I got to get me a hat with my stuff on it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Definitely, you got to represent you as an artist. Especially. You have all the hat collection behind you. Why not represent You know, everywhere you go, especially if you're performing, have that hat on. You can even get your sunglasses, get something made with your name on it. You know, be creative, be a little bit different.
I like
You
the
know,
way you think. You know what I'm saying? That's icy. That's icy. That's why it's the Iccy Show.
yes, sir, definitely. I'm about, thinking about things to motivate, positive.
Yeah, gotcha.
So,
That's what's up.
thank you, thank you. Do you have a manager right now?
Me, myself, and I. It's me.
Okay.
It's always
Are you
been me though. You know what I mean? Even when I was, really, really out there, on the grind all the way out, it was always me. You know.
right?
But nah, that's it. That's it.
Are you looking to have a manager, or you think you're all set now since you did self-made?
Nah, not really. The way the game go now, you don't, I mean, I'm not gonna tell nobody not to get none because I get it, depending on their route. But with me and my route, now I'm good. I'm 100% profit right now.
All right, all right. I love to hear positive, definitely in this industry. When's your next show?
I'm gonna be honest, like I ain't really got nothing. I ain't got the show lined up. I mean, I could always do show when I want to, but right now, I just want people to get ready for the flood. You know what I'm saying? I'm throwing it out on the internet, throwing it out on the major platforms. All that good stuff. So I keep, I had to keep people posted on the shows. It's been a little minute since they see me live like that, but I still, I still get, I'm still. I feel good, to have folks that still reach out. They always want it, because a lot of people don't really understand when you really, put it out there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, I get plays in UK and France and in Africa. I had people on my page years ago, talking about in Africa, talking about that they work for me. I'm like, I ain't even trip. People like, man, you should be. I'm like, nah, man, hey, man, if they in Africa saying that they work for crime time, then keep on doing it. Man, we'll be out there in the village too. I'll be out there too. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. Definitely. Especially getting internationally known is important, and that's a great feeling. I know how it feels. Before I wasn't known 50 states or other countries, and then now I became internationally.
Yeah.
But I'm South.
That's good.
And it's like it feels good when you get like I had someone from Iceland reach out to me, and I'm like, what, Iceland? Like, I didn't even think people would want to like reach out and support,
I'm
but
gonna
they
tell
do.
you something though. To be real honest though, like overseas really do, really mess with the music. So you see why artists go overseas. They might not be popping here, or they go back overseas and blow up and get that money still. Like, so when you're able to like travel international, that's the thing.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, that's the thing. But at the same time, like you said though, just broaden, you be surprised, when you really put in the work, put in some time. It takes some time, you know what I mean, to get it out there, just depending on what you pushing, Yeah. But it all takes time. But I mean, I take everything positive, everything that's going, I mean, hey, any plays they doing overseas, I'm with it. Like, I look at my little, where it's at in the country and the states and the cities, and I see all that, and I'm like, okay.
It feels.
That's what I want. Yeah, that feels good. Yeah.
When's your next project coming up?
Next project, I'm gonna tell you. I don't have an exact date. You know what? I'm big on my birthday though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just funny like that. I'm big of dropping some on my birthday or dropping some on, it's one of my family members that done passed, or I don't know. It'd be something. It'd be something though. A lot of people don't. If you know me, you know. But you know what I'm saying? If you really tune in, certain people know what it is. But I don't know. But I do know that I got like at least probably about 2 to 3 projects that I'm at least trying to drop. I know 2 of them I'm dropping this year. The third one, I'm just working with some people again. I do a lot of collaborations. If you listen to my music, I do a lot of collaborations. Yeah.
Yes, you definitely do. And where can they reach out to you if they want to get a feature with you? I know your price is right, so I know you.
Oh yeah, I love music. I'm saying? I love collaboration. I just, so you can get at me at crimejones.com all day. It has my emails, has my links, have everything on there. That's the easy way. Simple. crimejones.com. That's simple. You know what I mean? But crimejones.jones@gmail. Email me, stuff like that. You'll see my information if it ain't that hard. I ain't hiding nothing. So, but
No,
crimejones.com though.
definitely. What is the best advice you could tell the youngins in this industry?
Oh, from a real one.
Yes,
Um,
because you've been through it. So, I'm trying to that's my new thing every time I do an interview. I want, to make a difference for the young artists to understand. They think it's about all this bad stuff, and I'm trying to make it a positive. Hip hop started, beatbox and breakdance and things like that.
yeah.
And stuff like that. I'm 40. I'll be 45 in June. So,
Oh, that's what's
I
up.
thank
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you,
Congratulations. You know what? I'm gonna take it low, so I'm gonna get half of this. We're gonna get half of this with it off. You know what I mean?
thank you. I
Excuse me
appreciate it.
if I'm looking a little toasted, but I'm feeling good,
Thank
and
you.
I'm on the Jackie Brown live, so we're gonna get it in.
Let's get it in.
Yeah,
Definitely. Salute everyone tuning in today on Sunday.
yeah.
So what could you tell the youngins or the youth the best advice that you've been given to give to them?
I mean, I've always been a leader, so but at the same time, I've had leadership, if that matters. If that understand, that makes sense. You know what I mean? I tell, what I always tell people, man, is be authentic. You know, I come from the real where people really, it was your thing to not sound like the next man, but sound like your own. You
Right.
know, nowadays it's just, oh, he's sounding like this, so let me do that. Because half the time people don't know if it's him or the other dude. They thinking it's somebody else, and that's the new game until you learn it. So a lot of people, some people fade off. You know what I'm saying? Some people keep going. But one thing about me though is always been me. You know what I'm saying? From day one, and that was that was like what was taught in me.
Right.
That was inbred in me. You know what I mean? And even when I would tell people, don't listen to all the haters, man. Saying some of the closest people around you be the worst ones, and that's just keeping it
Right.
real. If you want to be all G, yeah. So you gotta listen to yourself. Stay prayed up for whatever you believe in. You know what I'm saying? Stay prayed up and keep your faith and understand that. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been doing. Some of my best flows was just freestyling in the cars and coming up with my peoples. But once I really was starting out to do my thing and put it out there, um, people was like, you need to, I heard the same thing. Oh, you should sound like, oh, he's popping right now on the radio. I don't even listen to the radio. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say I don't listen. You know what I'm saying though, but like I ain't telling y'all not to listen to the radio, but I tune in myself. I ain't gonna sound like the next man.
Definitely.
Me, yeah. So sound like you, be authentic. You know.
That's great advice. Definitely. If
Mm-hmm.
you could do a feature with somebody, who would it be?
Dead or alive or both.
Um, it could be in the industry, could be local, or it could be someone that has passed, but only one person.
I'm gonna do one of each. I really said them though. If dead would be Pac all day. Like that was my goal. I was reaching for it. Like I was like, oh man, that shit, man, Pac just inspired me. People don't understand like when you really came up in that real era, just how much, I always liked it, the small giant, the underdog, the heart, you know what I'm saying, the heart in him, you know what I mean? He ain't no big person. He ain't got to be 6'4", 6'9" to live like a boss, So that's what's up. But it would definitely be Pac. Dead. Alive, it's a lot of people out there, I listen to a lot of music from state to state. But I would say Scarface still, I think me and Scarface would be nice on the track, just because I've always that's my favorite out of I got my favorites out of certain states,
Yes.
Because I listen to so much,
Definitely.
Yeah.
I know it. How do you feel? That's how I am. I listen to a certain particular artist every state or country. It's crazy because UK, they got some great artists in UK. People.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And
Oh yeah. I mean, you know, it's crazy. I know I might be getting off, but I actually play this game. It's full of UK people. You know, they just, and you know, I've been on that for years, and they been knew about my. You know, once they learned about my music, like they some of my. Man, they was on there rapping for me, man. I've been like, and every time I look on, I see a little bit of that. I see some UK, I see some France, I see some, you know, stuff like that. Europe is what's up.
Yes, definitely. Shout out to Europe. Shout out to everyone tuning in.
Yeah, shout out to Europe.
Definitely.
All the way from Europe to the to the United States, to the USA, baby. That's how we do it.
Definitely. Have you ever been to Boston?
Where?
To Boston, Massachusetts?
No, you know what's crazy though? My cousin ran for Boston College.
Oh, really?
So my family, I ain't been, but I'm just saying though. But I had a cousin though that literally ran track for Boston though. That was her school. But you know, so the family been there. Me personally, no, I haven't though.
Okay. If you ever come to Boston, make sure you link with me, and we could do some photos and things like that. If you ever come out here.
No, definitely. I mean, I'm one. You know, I got a purpose at times. You know, I have to. You know, I schedule like that. You know.
Definitely.
So yeah, we might have made something happen. If I'm out there, I'll definitely reach out.
And now, where can they find your music at?
I'm on all the platforms, all major platforms. You know, I'm Crime Jones. And like I said, if you want to keep it simple, crimejones.com. It's simple. They're gonna have all my links. Everything is touch friendly. Click on it. You know what I mean? If you can hover over it, is click on it. It's gonna open up something. But I'm on everything. Like Instagram. It's Crime Jones. I just started my TikTok. As you can see, I just started my little TikTok. I got my TikTok going.
Hey,
you know, my kids be on TikTok. So that wasn't really, yeah. I appreciate you too. I appreciate you checking me out on there. Yeah, at the TikTok is Crime Jones 101, YouTube Crime Jones 101. You know, Crime Jones topic for my music on YouTube, all that good stuff. But like I'm on all the platforms though. All of them. I'm on everything. Pandora, you know, Apple. You already know all of it. Yeah. I'm on all that.
What's your best song to perform?
Oh man, you know, when I was,
you know, there's always one song that everybody would be like, yo, that's the shit. I love it. I want you to perform it for me. There's always,
I mean, you know what? It's crazy. I had a couple that just used to just get heavy requested. You know what I mean? But I would have to go to my classic. Like, you know, my first album's not even on the internet. You know what I'm saying? I was dropping them CDs. I made my money on that. But you know, the CD fell off real quick, but I got it real quick. I got it in real quick, hit it. But I would say Against the Wall. Yeah, Against the Wall. You know, I still get people that no matter what I put out, I still get folks that be like, man, that shit hot. But man, Against the Wall. You know, people just still love Against the Wall. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna tell a little bit behind that. You know, when you go through real life, sometimes you have and it's gonna present itself in your music or whatever you're doing. You know what I mean? So I had a point at that point when I did that, like I was going through so much, like my voice just got grimy. I couldn't, like I was talking like I was from up north or somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like people thought I was like, you know what I mean? They thought I was from, but I just had that grimy in me, and I was like, man, I'm about to, instead of me being like, man, why the hell I'm rapping like this and talking like this, I just put it in every song I could. You know what I mean? And a lot of my I got so many different genres and types of music. Like I got my little freestyle collection. I got, because that was really my thing. You know what I'm saying? That, but yeah, it was grimy. You know what I'm saying? It was, just my voice. But I'm talking about something real. But that, shit, man, my outro, man, to be honest, man, that was a freestyle. I tell that, man, I loved it because I never knew people really fucked with it when I was selling my music on the street, CDs and shit, or I do a show, people like, man, that outro on there. I'm like, yeah, bro, everything on it. They be like, man, is that outro on there? I'm like, yeah, that's on there, bro. That's it. It was a 5-minute freestyle. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you loc out. You know what I'm saying? And just, you know, I released the beats on the music. You know what I'm saying, on the mic. Yeah.
Definitely. Have you ever thought about doing battle rap?
Nah, I ain't doing that.
Okay.
You know, we played around a little bit, but nowadays, man, I be looking at that, man, I be tuning in now, like, you know, I'm like, yeah, nah, that ain't me.
Definitely.
That ain't me. I mean, but you know, I mean, that's a whole different beast.
Right.
Yeah, that's a whole different beast. But I respect it though, you know, because I mean, but I guess, you know, you just do your homework on folks and come up with your punchlines. But
right.
You're not gonna probably see Crying Jones on no battle rap. But
What about?
I do some verses. I could do a verse or something, now.
Okay.
I put my songs against the best. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And let me tell you something. A lot of people don't know I'm my own executive producer. I recorded all my songs. You know what I'm saying? Like I did that. No music. I mean, no school and no none of that. Not telling y'all to go. Please go to school though. Anybody tune in? You know, get your degrees. Get them early. Get them out the way. You know, because I'm a living proof of, man, they go quick. You know, I lived a fast life from day one. You know, they say I was born grown, you know what I mean? But I just lived a fast life from day one, you know what I'm saying? But it goes quick, especially after school. When school over, when they tell you, you know, your life gonna be in a snap of a finger, before you know it, it does. That is not no fake game.
Yes.
Especially if you start getting responsibilities, you know what I mean?
Yes, definitely. My grandmother always said that, and it was true. It was 18 came along. I think it was a flying.
Yeah.
Flying.
No, it's all that's fast. You know, grandma know. R.I.P. my grandma. Yeah. R.I.P. my grandma, man. Yeah, but yeah. Grandma knows now. They knew. They just knew. They was some real prayer warriors and everything. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Definitely. If you could do a documentary of your life and how you started, would you do it?
That's crazy. I like that, Jackie. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's go.
That's why I fuck with you. You my new favorite host right now, Jackie. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but nah, real shit. Yeah. I'm actually I've been a lot of stuff get delayed, you know, life, you know. God is great though, you know, I'm happy to be alive, like you said, you know, being a blessing. But I was actually working on it. You know. I'm about to get back on it. Because I tell people like this, man, I've always spit, anybody know me, you know. But for y'all that don't, it's all good, they learning. You know, you know, just damn, I lost my thought. But just hey, you know how they go. Hey, that free. See, that's that Patron. Look, that's why you don't be drinking.
I knew you were sipping out something good because I kept seeing you sipping on it. I'm like, yo, that looks something really good.
Man, I'm on it.
Definitely.
I'm on it. But yeah, but it's all good though. It's all good. Yeah.
What was I saying? Dang.
I know you were saying something. See, come on, Jackie, help me out now. You got to be my bag up. Because I had a good point.
Yeah, support. Definitely. I appreciate that, everybody. Salute. We were talking about your documentary. There we go.
The documentary. You know what? See? Look. Hey, I'm gonna give you a little shot. Look, you get you some of that right there.
I'll drink my Coca-Cola.
Oh, okay, yeah. There you go. Cheers it up. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Yeah. Hey, but yeah, the documentary, I was working on it, but I'm gonna get back on it though, because I have been working. But what I was talking about is, you know, life kind of, you know, you got to go with it, and sometimes, you know, that's why I tell people, man, you know, life is gonna always throw you something. You know what I'm saying? I tell people I ain't come out the mud, I came out the roots. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, that's a little deeper. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But you know, be appreciative and for everything that you get. You know what I'm saying? All the little, you know, you might think it's all this ain't nothing but a little bit of nothing, and you got these folks, oh man, look, you know, shout out to Lil Baby, you know, Lil Baby over here doing this at the arena, man, that's all good, you know what I'm saying? That's Lil Baby doing his thing, but that don't mean that you doing, you know, less, because, you know, as long as you grinding, you hustling, you doing your thing, you doing whatever you got to do, you know, do that, you know what I mean? So I just tell people, you know, don't let life, you know, throw you off, you know. Jump over it, hurl it, run through it, skip, get down. What you should, you know, back in the day when we fall down, we get up, scrape it off, wipe it off, put some peroxide on and keep it moving. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. But other than that, you know, it's coming though. I'm glad you said that though. The documentary, yeah, I got to get back on that. Yeah.
Definitely.
Let me my bad, Jackie. You know, I'm drinking over here. Well, look, what I was gonna say is, some people's lives, I always say my motto, I got a bunch of mottos, but one of my mottos is some people lives are stories and some people's are movies. You know what I'm saying? And I've always felt like it, you know, mine to be a bestseller. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been through. It ain't too much that people can talk to me about that I ain't really been through, like really lived it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up. Yeah. Documentary though, I'm gonna let you know now. I'm gonna drop that.
Yes, definitely. Let me know. And if you come to Boston, we can film. I know some places we can film at. Definitely. That would be awesome. And
I mean, I was looking for me a nice little host. You know, I had, I'm not gonna even lie. When I was doing it, I had, my lady I was with, she was gonna be my little commentator and, and my little, narrator or whatever, and all that. But I kind of got away from it a little bit as things kind of did what it did, and I started doing other things. But I definitely want to tell my story though.
Definitely, I suggest you. I feel like you got a lot to say. I was actually, before I do an interview, I always go to the artist and I, flip through to see a little bit about you and things like that. And I could tell you've been through hell and hell water. Like you said, by your music, I could tell by the tone in your voice, the way you were recording some of your songs. So I definitely can, I know you've been through hell. So, I could, everything you were saying, I could relate to that. And, I've been through a lot of stuff, but I would like to see a documentary on you, because, I could tell you put a lot of years into this industry. And, a lot of people think it happens overnight, but you actually, it really doesn't. You have to invest in yourself. You have to, do the work. You have to get out there for people to know you and, to support you. If you don't get that support, how you going to make it succeed? People to buy your things or buy your gear, and you've been doing it for a long time. And I salute to you definitely with all your work. And,
I appreciate it. I'm going to say this. I'm elaborate. I tell people like this, if because everybody ain't rich. Let's get real. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to look flash and act like they are, but we ain't all rich out here. Let's be real.
Right.
So, but at the same time, like you say, you gotta put your grind down. You gotta put your foot down, and it depends on your route you want to take. If you got the money to say, hey, I'm gonna hit the studio all the time, then go hit the studio all the time. If you're the type to say, hey, I ain't really got it like that. I know I can't hit the studio all the time, but I want to do this music. Then you sit down and you stack up that money and you go out and buy you some equipment. You see what I'm saying? Because now it's easy now just to get you some equipment and something easy to plug you up, get you a nice little program or something, and then you doing your own thing. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I would say. So people got to just spend think about whatever you're doing. If you doing a clothing line like you said. You got to go out there and get the equipment. You know what I'm saying? You got to be disciplined. You know what I'm saying? And it's ways of making it happen.
Definitely. Is there any shout outs you would like to give to anybody?
Yeah. Give a shout out to God first. You know what I mean? Yeah. Shout out. Give a shout out to my kids. You know what I'm saying? My kids was there. People don't even understand. Like honestly. And putting it out there, I know I'll be getting told, like, but look, my son was like 7 years old and he recorded songs that people didn't even understand. Like he was my little engineer back when I was just, I'm talking about putting it down on him. But yeah, shout out my kids, man. Everybody that play my music, you know what I'm saying? Everybody that fuck with me, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, you know what I'm talking about? Everybody I collabed on, you know what I'm saying, with, you know what I mean, all that. So let's see, man,
That worldwide
yeah,
collaboration fam on here. Salute, salute.
that's what's
They're
up.
a lot on here.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Shout out to y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody tuning in, you know, to the Jackie Brown show and Crime Jones, you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah.
Now, I have a question for you. Have you ever got a music award yet?
Like in the city or something. I wouldn't say
Anything
that.
in the industry, anything. Have you got any award? Because I think you deserve it in with your music. So that's
I
why I was.
mean, I'm happy. See, a lot of people don't understand. Like for one, I made my money. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying but I made my money. You know what I'm saying? Hey, just for the record. You know, I sold over 5,000 CDs myself. You know what I'm
That's
saying? When
amazing.
I was selling it,
Definitely.
just I'm somebody that's like, I ain't gonna throw it all the way out there, but that's at $5 or $10 a piece. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
So it ain't it ain't millions, but to take somebody who really, I'm happy with myself because I did the route that I said I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And I bought my equipment. I was that guy. Like, you know what? Let me go get this equipment. I don't know shit about how to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest. Let me hold on. Let me go back though. I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. Shout out to a 17-year-old Bosnian cat. You know what I'm saying? Who put me on really when I first started to get on the internet, the start, oh man, you can record this and this. So, I'm gonna be, what I start doing though, start upgrading. The biggest thing is upgrading your mic,
Yeah,
though.
that's
The
important.
mic is important. A lot of
Yes.
people don't understand. You can have the program all day, but if your mic ain't it, you know what I'm saying, or where you recording. But I'm gonna tell you, but I've made some great songs on $100 mic. I don't even have $100 mic now. There ain't $100 mic behind me, but you know, um, but investing in a good mic is good, as well.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
but
important.
yeah. But I'm just, I'm happy that like I say, I stayed down, kept my vision, recorded my own music. You know what I'm saying? Got it to the best of the ability, no matter what people thought, said, oh, you need to do this, that. And I'm gonna tell you something. I had from the older folks to the young folks, and they're all bobbing their head. You know what I'm saying? You go back and look at some of my, my lives, like it didn't matter. And that's what I realized. That's why I say, I tell people stay focused,
Stay
stay
focused.
focused and just believe in yourself, you know what I'm saying? And just keep doing it. So yeah, yeah, good things coming.
Definitely, definitely. And keep me updated if you come out when you come out with your documentary and your when you come out with your gear, let me know so I can promote it for you. You can tag my pages, things like that. I'm reading
Yeah,
the you're going fast, definitely worldwide collaboration. You definitely invest into everything. Yes, it's important. I've invested into my gear. I invested into traveling. I did my tour. That I invested, doing all that stuff, and that's important. You have to invest in yourself.
yeah,
This industry, you can't get anything for free, and that's what a lot of these artists think that they can get it for free, and that's not how it's gonna happen. You got to put the work in. You got to be willing to travel. You got to be willing to, go perform at different places, actually, and promote yourself as an artist. A lot of artists don't do that, and that's why I salute to you, Crime Jones, for you always promoting yourself as an artist. So salute to you. A lot of artists don't understand that, and back to you saying selling CDs. I remember doing it for my artists when I managed a record label, hand in hand, $5, have them at 7-Eleven, $5, $10, at the register with the mixtapes,
yeah,
and
yeah,
bodegas, and they don't do that no more because people don't really, play CDs like that. But you need to bring it back because cassettes, those, that's old school. That's I don't know how old you are. You look younger than me, but that's what I grew up. 8 tracks, all that old school.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like I got some mean freestyles when I got on on the tape or something. Like I got freestyles when I was like 17 and 16s and like just starting out, but I still love them. They raw, you know what I mean? That's sometimes like with me too. I just go ahead and drop it if but a lot of my stuff be one take. If I throw my little ad libs or whatever with it, I'm gonna make it do because it's me. You know what I'm saying? But everybody has their own little, who they are and what it is. I do want to say though, before I forget, be on the lookout for Worldwide A. I'm dropping that mixtape. I got a mixtape I'm calling Lost Files. It's gonna be a bunch of stuff that Lost Files speaks for itself. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go back over it all over it, and it's gonna be what it be. It's raw and uncut. You know what I'm saying? Underground. I mean, I'm gonna make it be the best of the beat, but you're gonna hear some gritty, some grimy. You're gonna hear some, some rough and ready and some ready and rolling. You know what I mean? Whatever. But so Lost Files, and I got one. I ain't really titled yet, so I haven't put a title to it. What I usually do though is when I get my what I did with my last couple albums. Once I got my songs together, I just kind of put it out there and let the people, let my folks, let y'all choose. Like, hey, what y'all think? With these titles, what y'all think? You know what I mean? I've been doing that, just try to get my people involved, my fans. A lot of people know, I stay in touch with people. You know what I'm saying? I hit them up. You know what I mean? I've been kind of chilling lately, but they know. They know. I know the ones who've been rocking with me forever, and I appreciate all the ones that rocking with me now. You know what I'm saying? It's some authentic out here. So that's all I'm trying to do. Well, that's all I'm gonna do. That's all I know how to do is be me, stay down. Shout out to the A, my bad. Shout out to the whole A.
Definitely.
Texas, Boston.
Yeah. Everywhere.
UK, all y'all. Everybody, Europe, the whole Europe. We just say the whole Europe. There's too many over there. Yeah. The whole Europe.
Definitely. Salute to all you. Everybody that's tuning in, sharing this.
New York.
Yeah, New York. Definitely. Yeah, Cali.
Y'all be playing me. I be seeing it. Yeah, they be playing me too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
How about a freestyle on the Iccy Show tonight? You think you could do that?
Oh man, don't put me out there like that.
Well, if you want to do it, you got the opportunity on the Iccy Show. If you don't want to do it, I respect and understand. I always give the artist the opportunity, and I feel like you could come with some fire today. I feel it in your soul. I feel it like want to come out like a lion over here on the Iccy Show. Shout out to Wu-Tang. Salute Wu-Tang. Peace. 36 Chambers.
I mean, what you talking about? Playing a beat or something, or you just talking about like acapella? What you talking about?
You could do anything you want, whatever your soul feels like. If you want to do rap something real quick, if you want to play a beat and then rap on it, it's whatever you feel. I don't want to put you under pressure, but I feel like you could do a freestyle. I feel like your soul can come out.
I mean, I could always hit something. You know what I mean?
Even one of your songs. Even one of your songs, you could spit it.
In one of the songs, let's think. I like beats. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can. I like beats, man. I'm surprised. See, you're supposed to have a beat. You're supposed to have a track. Look, you got to throw that in there. When you tell people, you got to go ahead and throw that track out there real quick. Like, look, give me something on this beat right here. Let me see what you got. So they'd be like, okay, that make people, that make you more be like, okay, let me find something. You got something over there?
No. The reason why I don't do that is because hip hop started without it was beatboxing. So I like to put them on the spot. I like to freestyle because to be honest, I'm not a auto-tunes fan of that. Like, some artists use that through the whole album or whatever the case may be. I feel like you should come, you know, what your natural soul is coming out, you know, to rap, to sing, whatever the case may be. But some people be pushing it too much, and I'm like, I want to feel it. I want to be able to relate to your music, even though you don't know what I've been through, and I don't know what you've been through, even though you're rapping, but I can relate to it. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And a lot of artists, when you listen to their music, they play that auto tunes, but they think that's music, which it's not your soul. Like, you gotta, when someone's performing, you want to feel it, you want to hear it, you want them to be out of breath, but going with it, still be able to perform, you know, because you know that's coming from their body, not just like, you know, playing something, be like, oh, this is fake. You know, I'm a real person, so I want to feel it. I want to see it. I want to see the person dance. I want to see the person interacting with the audience, you know, and so that's why I don't really play a beat behind it, because I want to just feel like the natural. I'm old school. I'm like pen and paper old school. Like, forget about the technology. I don't want that.
Yeah.
But
Got
that's
you.
me personally. That's why.
How
But
about how about how about how about if how about if I find like some shit I just like freestyle, I give you a little taste.
okay, that's perfect.
How about that? You know what I'm saying? That way we'll do it like that. You know, I'll give you a little taste or something. I can, you know, because I can always play something.
Definitely.
But I know what you're saying too, though. Give me a second. Let me see if I can pull something up.
All right, all right. Salute everyone. Salute. Definitely. We got comments here. Says, well, we are all one together. We are achieving together as one family. Worldwide collaboration. Without you, there is no worldwide. Facts, big facts. So salute everybody. Definitely tuning in. Definitely. Peace, everybody. Make sure you go follow this artist, support him, book
Yeah.
him for your next show. He will go internationally, so that's important. So make sure you know, go check out his music, download it, share it, tell a friend, and let's get it.
Yeah.
For real, for real.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Just waiting on this to kind of boot up a little bit. And you know, this just like, you know, they be exclusive now. Hold on now, you know. I don't really get into my archives, but you know, I love music though. You know, I always got like you know, I always got something. Let's see what we got here.
Definitely.
Hold on a second. Give me a second.
Okay, definitely.
Yeah. Oh man, that's something already playing. Oh, hold on. I got a shout out while I'm on here. Hey,
Yeah,
shout out to my producer though, man. You know what I'm saying? Toya Beach though, real talk. Holding it down in that Miami, man. You know what I'm saying? I got a female producer. I like to say that to people because people are like, man, you got a female producer? I'm like, yeah.
that's
When I
dope.
get my track, you know what I'm saying? I get them from Toya Beats, you know what I mean? You know, real shit, you know, shit saying you know, your exclusive rights and everything, you know what I mean? All that good stuff. So shout out to Toya, man.
Salute.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna just give you a little, you know, just I mean, this 100%. Everybody already know 100% freestyle. I could do it, but you know, why do it when I already got it? I'm gonna give y'all something, you know, something out. It's straight off the top, raw. It is what it is. Love it or hate it. Hold on, I'm turning it up. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Here we go. Hit. Hey, like I'm back. Hey.
Fire.
But, you know, little taste, little taste, little taste,
Fire. That's what I'm
little
talking
taste,
about. And that
little taste, you know. I don't want to look. I ain't gonna start because then I really get crunk. You'll never get off of here. You know what I'm saying?
So salute to your producer, definitely the beats fire. Salute to you. Definitely thank you for that little sample. Anyone that's tuning in, if you're not friends on any of the platforms with Crime Jones here, make sure you go support them, request them, and work with them. That's where we are internationally. Let's get it. This is interview 548 interviews I've done in 4.5 years.
Hey, shout out to you. You on your grind, man. You know, and congratulations on you. You know, I know. I heard. You know, I was tuning in, seeing some of your interviews, and I know you got your own goal, and I know you're on the mission. You're gonna reach that real quick. So, hey, I appreciate the love. You know, real talk. I appreciate the love. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate anybody who's out here trying to give a little something back. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what that's what real is. But that's that era we come from, though.
Yeah.
A lot of people need to take notes.
Yeah.
Where they say, sit back and take notes. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's what
that's what's up.
That's why the kids of the future, and you when you hear the youngin with the music, it's like they don't know what real music is. Like 80s music, it never dies out. 90s music never dies out. 2000, early 2000 never dies out. You go to weddings, you always hear it. You always see somebody always on the dance floor when they play that type of music, no matter what it is. But in that era, but the new era, this drill music is just gonna come and it's gonna go. But they're gonna be stuck on that, and that's what's gonna stink for these young ones that don't want to get out of that box. And I try to explain to them, start spitting about acknowledgement, some of the artists from Wu-Tang, what they kick acknowledgement in their lyrics, and if you hear it, you understand it. If you follow it, and people don't understand that, and it's like we're the OGs, and we're supposed to show the youngins, which way to go, and try to give them that boost that we didn't have. That boost we had to find out, by ourselves. We already started at our roots, and we climbing. They don't have that root, and they think they know it, but like when we try to give them that, they think they know it, and it's like, no, we started from the roots. Like, you don't even know. I'm the old school that on the telephone poles, when we have the flyers get nailed on the flyers going on the cars outside of the nightclub. Like, that's the era I'm from. They don't even know when I talk about that, they don't even know about that. They don't even know about CDs being sold out of your trunk, $5. Like, they don't understand that. And it's like, damn, you guys got that technology. That's all you guys are set. You don't set with a pen and paper, chillaxing at the studio, vibing to the beat, to write to it, to really zone out. You just that drill, and that auto tunes. That's why I'm like, that's not natural to me. I'm a natural person. I want to feel it. I want to vibe to that music. That's how I am.
That's what's up. But that, I mean, you like real music. You know what I'm saying? I like a little bit of everything. But like you said, it took me a minute to get on I mean, I don't do the auto tunes myself, but it took me a minute to really, start, I guess, accepting it to my own listening ears. Besides T-Pain, T-Pizzle did it. You know what I mean? T-Pain was the man with it. Roger's that. We can go back with that, but
But I don't judge it. I don't judge anyone that uses it, but it's just like, there's these young ones, we got to teach them, and it's like we're trying to teach them, but that's the era they're stuck on. And it's just the era at this time. But the OGs need to take over, giving more advice to the youngins and showing them, back in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, that music never goes away. You can go to a baby shower, they're playing that music. You could go to a wedding, they're playing that type. Funeral, they're playing something that's always been there, and I just wish the acknowledgement that when we grew up, how we made self-made, that these young ones could take that advice, what we're trying to give to them, to pass the acknowledgement.
I would say that's the biggest thing, is just I always say it too sometimes, the difference was, I would say, between necessarily my era versus, it's a big difference. A lot of them, of course, from our era. I would say we close in the same. You know, we pretty much we ain't no close. We in the same. We from the same era, basically. But you know, a lot of them don't want to hear it. You know, some of them don't want. I ain't gonna say a lot. You know, because I'm starting to see more starting to try to change it. But some don't want to like learn. You know, they don't want to learn the history, or they don't want to acknowledge the people who come before you. You know, I love to shout out whoever I think is hot, or whoever I think is you know, influence me to you know, do what I do, or that I'm bumping on. I don't mind throwing that a little bit out, you know?
Right.
But you know, nowadays it's like everybody swear that they done created something that's already been created forever. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I would just say, you know, it's definitely not a, you know, a shot at them, but I would recommend, you know, learn this real game. You know, one thing from, you know, I wouldn't be here, you know, if I didn't listen to the game. You know, if I didn't have somebody, you know, older than me, you know what I'm saying, the OG, you know, the older heads or whatever that, you know, would always pull me out the crowd. You know what I'm saying? I was that dude. Yeah. You know, a lot of people don't understand that, you know, this ain't no, you know, just talking. You know, I've been like this. You know, I grew up with Gucci, you know, Roger Davis, we know, you know what I'm saying? That's my G, you know what I mean? That's my dog. Like, I ain't talking about no kicking it, no flexing, no faking. You know, I fuck with Walker. I fuck with a lot of folks from the real because we was really out here. You know, I vouch for them. You know, I don't vouch for everybody, but them two, I definitely will vouch for. You know what I'm saying? We actually, you know, was out here young, wild, 14s. You know, I mean, with Gucci, I would say. I met Walker a little later, but, you know, that's my dog, too. He was real out there trapping, doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? I remember freestyling at Mom's house, you know what I'm saying, before everything dropped off. A lot of people, you know, I get to talking, they be like, you know, they really understand how, like you said, the life. You know, I really, you know, grew up with these folks. You know, supposed to have been right there with it, but you know, at the same time, it's no regret. I just moved a lot. You know what I'm saying? My situations was my folks couldn't sit still, so we moved a lot. You know what I'm saying? No excuses, but you know, and at the same time, you know, we the type that shout out to Easy B Green Socks too, man. That's my brother. Easy B Green Socks. That's my brother, man. You know, organized noise, you know, finest. But when we see each other, you know, we see, you know, we you know, down here when you keep it real like that, you know, we holler at folks because we know you. It ain't really about, oh dang man, let me get on. I ain't never been no dick rider, you know what I'm saying? Excuse my language, whatever, for the kids or whoever might be tuning in, but that ain't never been my thing. When I see you, it's because we know you, and the respect is, I know him, I know he a real dude. You see what I'm saying? And so that's how we always did it, you know what I mean? But shout out to them boys too, man, you know what I'm saying? Walker, you know, already know, you know what I'm saying? We used to be flowing on that thing all day in my own crib. My boy Roger, all day, you know. I'm proud of them boys. Like, I'm that type of dude, like, I ain't never been no dude to been like, oh, hey, don't know. Like, I feel good to be like, damn, that's my fault. I get excited when I say shit. I remember being over there at goddamn grandma's house, you know what I'm saying, over there, whatever, goddamn, you know what I'm saying, over there, doing what we do. I remember being up, you know, doing what we do at that back now. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm just saying we can go on and on, stuff like that. But I fuck with them folks, man, and I'm happy that, you know, people who I know, you know what I'm saying, out there doing their thing and made a name for themselves, you know what I'm saying? And I'm happy with the name I made for myself, because I'm gonna be honest, you know, one of the biggest questions, biggest things I had is, did I really want to be industry? You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, because I'm a person that I see, you know, my vision is, you know, far. I see for miles. So I don't really like the way it's going. I see a lot of sacrificing going on, and people, you know, it's a lot of setup. I'm just being honest. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but we're going to keep it G. You know, y'all better watch it too. So, you know, I would tell people now, you know, yeah, you probably do want to make sure you got somebody you can really trust on your side to manage everything, because people will sell their soul for $1. Like, literally now, you know, we didn't, you know, necessarily, I mean, it's been going on, but now it's at an all-time high. You know, they're getting the insurance policies on you. You know what I'm saying? They're killing you off, and they're gonna sell your music for the rest of your they like they life or the label life,
Yep.
and you gone. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy still. I'm gonna be honest. Like sometimes that's one of my biggest questions. I'm not even gonna front. You know, I'm not mad that I stay underground, which I grew up on underground anyway. But I get it. You know, you want to get the millions, you want to get that money, you want to, but you know, you want to, you know, what's the price you gonna pay? You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell people, I can't make this shit up. I can send you a couple uh screenshots or shit like that where people like, hey man, you want to join the Illuminati? Like I done had that shit before. I promise you, like a couple times. And you know, I ain't, you know, the stories I heard, it ain't really me. And not knocking nobody, but I'm gonna be me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't sacrificing no damn body. I'm sacrificing enough, just trying to live out here and survive to be this long. You know, when I didn't think I was gonna be 21. You know what I'm saying? But God is great. He had another plan for me. So, you know, I'm happy that that's why I tell everybody, you know, you know, always reach for new goals though. Never, you don't have to be stagnant. But you don't have to don't sell your soul, you know, for this paper.
Yes. Yeah. I always say the same thing. It's not worth selling your soul. I'm never selling my soul. I'm staying self-made. Iccy Showw. I appreciate everyone that supports the Iccy Showw, but
damn right.
That money is not all good money is good money. You know. Am I saying that saying right?
Yeah, you said it right. All money ain't good money.
And you know, people have to understand. You know, we lost a lot of people in this industry, in this last year. Just in 1 year, I mean, it's crazy how many artists we lost. And it's like, you know, we can collaborate with country, with rap, hip hop, reggae, with country. You know, there's all different cultures of hip hop that needs, you know, people need to come together, unite together, and really look at your contracts when you're signing those contracts. You're signing your life away. Yeah. People, please get a lawyer.
They need to read their contracts too. I don't think they're reading them.
No,
I don't think they're reading them. They just signing like, oh, I got $1 million, but I got $1 million. Oh, you got $1 million. Okay, but that $1 million is going to have a lot of things included in it too, though. That's going to be how you're going to be able to spend for your promote. You know, it's all type. People don't get it. But once you sign it, you kind of you don't put your signature on it now. You know, and I'm gonna tell some. I said that in one of my songs. Like, I used to say, I used to check sales every week. You know, a lot of people don't understand, man. You know, understand it's entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Everything ain't what it be. Just like I be exposing Instagram folks and everything. Like, don't get me to talking. I mean, but I fuck with them. I've been networking with. Shout out to all the Instagram models and shit I've been networking with. Real talk, I have been networking with them. I ain't gonna, you know, I ain't got to put no names all the way out there, but you know, that's been my new thing. I just do what I want to do, huh?
I said, salute queens, keep your crowns up.
Yeah, man, yeah, they out there doing their thing, you know. But you know, but my point be though, everything don't be authentic as they see. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people out here that put on a little show, but
right.
But it's not to knock nobody, because we all, you know, if you came from, you know, if you know the real, you know the real. But what I'm saying is a lot of people, like you say, when we talk about selling their soul, or people reaching, or they out here dying for it, or they out here, you know, not even making it to your goal. Because once you gone, you gone. I ain't never seen nobody come back. So a lot of people got to understand, you know, that's one thing I can say about the younger generation. You know, I grew up on that, you know, I guess, you know, more forced to live the life and you know, do what you had to do, where, you know, a lot of things are easier now. They don't want to hear it, but it is, you know, all the way around. You know what I'm saying? It's the only thing that's really harder is trying to keep your rep on the social media. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, jobs, you can go from anything. Jobs easy to get. All you got to do is put your resume out there. Right. You know, just whatever you do. I'm just saying, so the whole world has evolved to be easier or to accommodate, you know, what it is. So people just got to take advantage of that and use that for what it is, you know what I'm saying, and understand that you know, hard times is a part of life, you know. Right. I mean, but you know, life is what you make it though. no matter. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell people too, you know,
Never give
when
up.
you look back, never give up. You know, and when you look back and you can say, hey, you know, people try to point the finger at this, that person, that person. At the end of the day, the only person that ever kept me back was me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, once you realize that, the only person that can really keep you back is yourself, then
Yeah.
you just, it ain't nothing that you can't, you know, really do. You know what I'm saying? You know. So.
Facts. Yeah, definitely. And if it's your birthday, happy birthday. My condolences to anyone that lost anyone. Happy anniversary to anyone that's your anniversary. And I know, like you're talking about consistent, staying consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And I lost my brother in September, this past September.
My
And
condolences.
thank you, thank you. He was my best friend, and I was down for 30 days off my show, and it took me about 5 months. I cried every day until it would be 6 months next week, but for 5 months I cried every day for him. And it's like, it's hard to, I keep it real, so it's like, to come to do my show I gotta smile, and that's not me to fake it, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like I try to teach these young ones, I try to get them younger and younger because they want to get in the studio. But I try to teach them, go with some OGs that been through hell and hell water in this industry, that stayed consistent, that's been to shows, been traveling, did this, did that. Ask them, you know, some questions, because they've been through hell and hell water. They're gonna tell you. Read that contract. Not every dollar is gonna be worth it. You're jeopardizing your family by signing on that dotted line. And look at all these young ones that are dying, like, because all they think about money, and then they're flashing guns in the on social media, and then they're wondering why they get knocked down on the
Get
door. And
locked,
it's
yeah,
like,
locked up. But you know what? It's crazy because you know they been said it. You know they been said it. A lot of people thought it was a joke. You know, I don't know if you remember when Facebook and all that, everybody they was tightening up and they was making people say like, you know, I tune in because my original page, I felt like Facebook hated on me. You know what I'm saying? This page was really just like my personal page, but they basically took my other page and just made it like a useless band page. I already had one. You know what I'm saying? So, but that was a whole different story. But my thing was when they started cracking down on like names and like if you notice a lot of people who had their artist names wind up having to start changing to their real name if you couldn't prove that that's your name. Or you know what I'm saying? Like I had to prove like I can still have Crime Jones because I had to actually submit, you know what I'm saying? Um like Mel, you know what I'm saying? Something like Sean, that's my name. You know what I'm saying? But because I didn't have Mel coming in Crime Jones Underground Sounds.
right.
They took my page, but a lot of people didn't understand that's when they was trying to crack down then when they were saying like, oh, the FBI is looking or they looking, man, it's a setup. I'm gonna tell you, we know because
Right.
one thing, the biggest thing lacking, and I'm gonna tell people this, the biggest thing lacking nowadays is common sense.
Yeah.
Because everybody, I want to get in, I get deep. My views though, I think, people are computerized. The
Yeah.
kids are computerized. They like human robots. You know what I'm saying? Because all they know is the computer, and it's on them to adjust to learn both. You know what I'm saying? So I would suggest, people learn still. That's why I say talk to your older people who you can trust, that you're gonna get some good information from.
Right.
Big cousins, big brothers, whoever it is, uncles, you still got them, all that good stuff, man, because a lot of people who came before got a lot of good knowledge on some common sense stuff that you can see easily. Like I can easily see how they setting them up. It's the new setup. They know that that's the thing, to flash and put your money and your guns and your drugs out there, and all they're gonna do is, all they're gonna do is get your IP and then come to you. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It's that simple.
Yeah. And
It's
it's
that
like,
simple.
it's like common sense, don't do it, get those shows out there and just stay positive. This industry can be positive, just stay, it's the way you move,
It's the way you
if you're moving,
move.
sloppy, then you're gonna see. But it's best to just go, positive all the way, talk to some OGs and see
Yeah.
what they've been through, and maybe they can help you. Because I think that's what it is. These young ones, they don't have the guidance, so they think what they see on YouTube on the technology is what it is. But behind doors, it's a different ball game, a real different ball game. And I just hope that this generation that is different from us, it doesn't just go to a point blank because they're stuck only on that one type of music. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping, because that's under us, but we're supposed to show them the way to go, because we had that. We had to learn on our own. They don't listen. But I hope that they do, tuning into this Iccy Showw interview, because from two OGs, it's important. All children of the future, but they got to listen to the OGs and just tune in, because they got some great talent everywhere, everywhere.
Thanks.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I see it. I see what you're putting. I appreciate that, definitely. I'm reading the comments.
Oh yeah. Hey, I don't wanna I know we've been on here a long time, but I don't want to break off without doing it official. I just need can you give me 1 second? I just need to go do something real quick. I need to open this up real quick. I'll be right back.
Yes, definitely.
Give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds, y'all stay tuned. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay, definitely. What's up, DJ Black? I see you. Peace. Definitely. I appreciate you. Worldwide collaboration. I see you. All the comments. Definitely. And we appreciate you. Much love and respect, everyone tuning in. Definitely. We are state to state, country to country right now. Tuning in. Make sure you go Crime Jones. Go support him. Go, book him for your next show. Definitely. Great artist right here.
Yeah.
A lot of great acknowledgement, and, make sure you follow. He got a new project, but just stay tuned on his page and follow him. That's how you'll be able to tell. And I see a Green Bay behind there. My son's a Green Bay fan.
Green, but no, I ain't got no Green Bay.
Oh, it looked like it from the orange one. Is that Green Bay?
Which one? Right here?
Right. Yeah, to the right.
This?
Yes.
Nah, that's that Georgia.
Oh, okay. I
That's
thought it was Green
Georgia, baby.
I was like,
that's that red, black, and white right there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's some champs. Yeah, that's some champs 2 years. Nah, we had to get ours though. We gotta take. Hey, even that, we gotta take what we can get. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. I hope to see yours.
Shit, I'm dropping hands now.
Next year.
Yeah, but nah, that's that Georgia though.
Definitely. Shout out to Georgia. Shout out to Boston. Shout out to everyone that tuned in on the Sunday. I appreciate you, Crime Jones. This is interview 548 interviews. I appreciate everybody that came on. Have a blessed day. Artists, keep on going. Crime Jones, if you come to Boston, link with me. And my blessings from here to Boston to Atlanta. Let's get it. 2023 is here. Get them for your next show. Let's go. Peace.
Appreciate you. Hold back.
Let's get it.
All right.
Peace.
Yep.